good afternoon. Oh, wait, good morning, folks. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday and welcome to another Conversations with Geoff. Sorry I'm a minute or so late, but I was talking to our guest and on behind the scenes, man. She was getting ready to lay out some really fire stuff. So we're going to see if we can get her to kind of talk a little bit more about what we were chatting or beginning to talk about before I came on. So again, welcome everybody to Conversations with Geoff. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Houston. Sunshine. Just took a little walk outside before the show. So I welcome everybody and appreciate everyone saving the time to come join us today or watch the recording. And always know that we value your time, value your feedback, value your interaction with us during this process, right? So Conversations with Geoff is meant to have that virtual reach out and hug type feeling where you stop in, sit down like you're visiting your friend. And man, oh man, let our guests kind of pour into you, share some experiences and strength and hope that they used in their lifetime to be part of that comeback king environment, right? All right. So, but let me just, before we get to it, I'd like to share a little bit more about me. This will only take a second. But today, I was thinking before the show and the word conversation came up and it made me think about the time when we were planning this and the young lady that brought the whole thing to me and we were talking to a marketing director. And anyway, she said, Geoff, why don't you just do a show around Conversations with Geoff? And I said, well, that's interesting. Well, why do you say that? And she says, since we've met, and she was someone we just kind of helped each other out. And she said to me, you really just helped me understand through conversations the value that I couldn't see in myself, and you helped me begin to believe in that person that I knew I could become. And she says, man, and it was easy. I didn't feel judged. I didn't feel like I had to be anything other than myself. And so I said, man, that was really great. And I was like, why am I thinking about that this morning? Well, man, kids are out of school. Parents are working still. It's summertime. And, everything's driven off of this phone we carry around. And so I challenge you parents or married couples or relationship folks to really think about what you can do differently in terms of actually having a real conversation, listening with intent, right? Not trying to get your point across, not trying to make it uncomfortable for somebody, because we've got enough of that going on in this crazy world outside of us, right? I'm talking about really thinking about listening, and trying to be there for people that are learning how to communicate again, right? I think we're forgetting how to do that. I think we're really thinking about this phone all the time. And I was laughing to myself, our kids, we got to be careful because they're going to create a whole new disease from bending over and looking at the phone all the time, right? And adults too, we all are. I'm guilty sometimes of having our head down in the phone, so back's going. You guys get the picture, right? So let me just share something around conversations, and I'll get to why we're here. And I looked it up. Conversations, a talk, especially an informal one between two or more people, in which news and ideas are exchanged. Now we don't get into a lot of news, and we don't go deep into different religious beliefs and news and things that are politics. That's not what we're here to do. But we are inviting guests in here that have their own beliefs and their perspectives on things. And man, listen, I encourage you to keep an open mind as you hear different things that may not necessarily hit you the right way at first, but stay open to the things that we have here in Conversations with Geoff. But the origin of the word is this. It was Middle English. It's in the sense of living among familiarity and intimacy. We use the old French Latin word conversation. It's a verb, converse. It takes action. You have to interact. It's not something that's just going to happen without some effort. So as I said at the beginning, parents, my challenge to you this week is figure out some time where you can make sure you're talking with your children, not at them. You're listening to your children, not judging them and giving them corrections, that you're really creating a safe zone for them. As always, we always say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So anyway, hey, let me just say welcome again to everybody. And my name is Geoff Tyson, and I'm known as the Comeback King because of, you guys know all the things that I've been through, man. And we just keep showing up no matter what. whether it's relationship problems, whether it's business problems. We bounce back and we show up. We show up. Whether it's pick one, right? We all have them. I'm not the only one, but being here, being present, showing up no matter what is the key. Keep stepping forward, right? So welcome to this version of Conversations with Geoff. We got a great guest coming up. But I want to thank our team, thank everybody for following us, and all you new folks that are there. Welcome to the community, and keep sharing, keep subscribing, and make sure you tell all your friends about us, baby. Your friends, your relatives, even your enemies. They need some of this also. We need to get everybody in this space, right? So, and then for anyone looking for affiliates or sponsorships, we are open to having those conversations in and around our core purpose, which is around wealth, health, and community, and that whole thing and principle around relationships, having that right relationship, right? That one that, oh man, people are comfortable with. You know, there's no judgment zone there, and that we can come in here and inspire other people. Because you know what? I always say it, that stinking thinking, baby. Our mission, the Conversation with Geoff, is to help you become aware of that stinking thinking that always spins in your brain and how it's limiting you. And then, hey, once you become aware of it, some tools that you can do to start slowing that thing down, hitting that reset button throughout the day, hitting that reset button before you go to bed at night and you sleep through all that crap you went through that day, or hitting that reset button in the morning when you wake up and the first thing that comes out of your mouth, man, I feel terrible. Hey, do you really feel terrible? Probably not. But when you tell yourself you do, well, how do you think you're going to feel, right? So change that stinking thinking, man, and become part of this community. We encourage you to do that. Share this message with us, right? So I told you about our purpose. I told you about our mission. Thank you for letting me share that little thing around conversation. I challenge you, and I'm really going to get to our guest, is that my wife put a note up some years ago. She said, and it says, praise and compliment everybody you meet. How do you think good conversations start? Hi, my name is. Oh, my name is. And then it starts. Let's learn how to communicate, right? All right. So anyway, all right. Hey, listen, our guest coming up here, this young woman is, I met her back in the Great American Speak Off. She did a great job there, right, in Miami, man. And she just, you'll see it, the smile just brightens up the whole stage. Excuse me. And she's known as the Queen of Destiny and has a huge mission in 2023 to empower 1.7 billion folks and Christians sitting in the pews to find the path to purpose, walk powerfully in it so they can reach their destiny. Vivian is an international speaker, spiritual sensation coach, social entrepreneur, publisher, talk show host, former Miss Black Arizona. Vivian is author of a compelling and life-changing book, Revival in the Pews. It tells the story of a premature death of her sister, and she does some things there, an unrelenting attempt to raise her. She caused spiritual uproar. Hey, we do have some conflicts sometimes, but she is a spirit-filled servant leader who is passionate about providing a platform to empower 1.7 billion people. As founder of the president of the People Empowered World LLC, she has traveled nationally, empowering women internationally in a mission to various African nations. She's hosted her own TV show on CBS. Vivian loves to travel, relax on the beach. Oh boy, the beach. Spend time with family and her friends. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to Conversations with Geoff, my friend, Vivian Phillips.
Hey, Geoff.
Hi, Vivian. How you doing?
I am doing so well that you finally got me on your show.
You're hard, you got so many opportunities, so we appreciate you sliding in and giving us a chance to see that big, beautiful smile you got.
Thank you.
Yes. And I was just telling them before, we were just, like our show is about, we just kind of get into where we are to leave that conversation we had. You were talking, you were telling me a story about something that just happened in your life that I think is a good way to kick this thing off. So you want to share that message with the audience?
Well, first of all, as you were talking, I was completely inspired by what you were saying. I was backstage getting all excited. And I was like, Conversations with Geoff is already working with me. So that was really awesome. Thank you so much. In kind of setting this up, I am on a mission as a result of something very devastating happening, I ended up doing about 3.5 years of research in finding that about 80% or somewhere upwards of 1.7 billion of people who profess to be Christians have never been discipled, according to Matthew 28. And it was the answer to what I felt I was dealing with. I couldn't understand why people weren't really walking in the precepts that I understood in the Bible. And so in finding that, one of the things that I became very clear about myself is that one of the spiritual gifts God has given me is the gift to heal. And so, believe it or not, the scripture says that we would do what Jesus did, but that we would do greater. And so I was at a restaurant, I was at a coffee shop meeting with a potential client, and there was a woman behind her who was listening to the conversation, and she interrupted us because she got so excited about what we were talking about. And so she started talking, and I just kind of began to ask her questions because I understand that we are walking in perpetual opportunities to show up and be who God really created us to be. So in that moment, the woman revealed that she had just had a double lung transplant, which was probably a byproduct of COVID. And that she was a very, very young lady. And so I asked my client, I said, can you give me a second? And she was like, sure. So I got up and I went over and I started talking to the lady. She had her children there, and she was saying, I can't really do anything. I'm in a lot of pain. And so I just began to do what God has gifted me to do, which is to step into the supernatural. And the supernatural, becomes a whole different ordeal. And the truth of the matter is, I teach that all of us who profess to be believers, we have the same capacity that Jesus had, which is to heal the sick, to set the captives free, and to raise the dead if it becomes necessary. So I prayed for the woman, and God healed her instantly, supernaturally, from the pain. And that was one of the exciting things that just happened.
Wow. So you're saying, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And no matter how many times I do it, Geoff, I am in awe every single time it happens, like a child. But it's a capacity that we all have. I'm not special.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm special, but I ain't special.
Oh yeah, that's powerful. So then now, people hear that, and we're not here to debate and try and convert anybody to any particular position here. This is just your experience.
Right. Absolutely.
So
yes.
we really appreciate you sharing that, because I just think there's so many things that we all have as human beings that are gifts that we don't step into, as you said.
Right. And that's what I do. When I meet people, God has given me a really unique capacity to engage people in a way that allows me to begin to see their spiritual gifts, their capacities, their potential. And so I've learned over like the last 20 to 30 years that if I connect with you, that means there's an opportunity there for you to really go to a higher place. Yeah.
I get that. So what I'm hearing you say, and I don't hear any, what's the word I'm looking for? The word that's anything other than servitude. I don't hear any, than you having the privilege of being able to serve and share your gift with people.
Right.
And then reminding, I don't hear ego in your message. I don't hear anything And that's how it was when I met you. You know, we just happened to cross each other's paths, and it was kind of like a connection.
Right.
And I felt that. You know, I felt the energy that you brought, which was about, hey, how are you? How can I help you? You know,
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. So this when I talk to people about purpose, even though I'm a woman of faith, I believe in God. When I engage people in that conversation, this is not about church.
That's right.
This is not about religion. This is about that. I believe in divine appointments. I don't believe in coincidence. And so when I encounter someone, I am always prepared to engage them in a conversation about purpose. And it has never failed in stepping forward in that anybody has ever rejected me. I have never, ever been rejected in the conversation of purpose.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what I experienced from you. You know, it was like you and me made me feel like I was the only person, and then there was a room of 130 high level people moving around.
You were the only person. It was just me and you.
Oh, hey, I felt it. You know, and that's why we say we've got to get you up here and let people know that there are people that you never know who you meet.
Right.
You never know. When somebody looks at you and says, I care about you, hey, just let them be that way. Let them care about you.
Absolutely. It makes me think about the first 2 words in my book is you matter. You matter. Because most people have been through so much in life that they do not feel like they really matter. It matters that you're here. It matters that you walk in your purpose. It matters that, that you are loved, that you are honored, that you are treasured. All these things matter. And so when I encounter someone, I want to live the manifestation in the interaction that you matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's so important. And my whole journey for a long time was, man, do I really belong here? Where do I fit? Right? I've got this. Something must be wrong with me. I have 2 parents that love us. We got 5 siblings. They're working. They live the family life, but I just never really felt like I mattered.
Yes.
And there's people still out there now that are trapped in that message. So hear this woman's voice, hear the love coming out of her voice, and see the smile out there, and share this when you hear this message. Make sure you're getting your folks out there that are struggling.
Right.
They need some of the Queen of Destiny messages.
Well, the truth of the matter is, when we feel like we don't matter, when we feel like, it would be okay to leave this earth and that nobody would care, what that really means is you're not engaged in a place or around people that sow into you to give you the significance that you should really have. Because if you were created, you matter. Yeah, you matter. And there's a destiny and there's a purpose in you, and it has a place in the earth. It has a place in the earth, and every single one of us. It does not matter who you are, what religion you are, what race you are, what your your economic status is, your educational background, it does not matter. Your purpose has to do with contributing to humanity, making a difference in people's lives, changing their circumstances. I mean, that's what it's all about. So you could be making all the money in the world. You could be, popular, this, that, and the other thing. But if whatever it is that you're doing isn't affecting people, God's creation, then chances are you aren't on the path to purpose.
Yeah. I love it.
It's that simple.
Yeah. So how do those that hear your message and like, man, how do they get on that path?
Well, it's not deep. And one of the things that I say, and I think this kind of coins the whole conversation, and that is the path to purpose is a process. It's not a destination.
Yeah.
And so we have what we call a purpose activation survey. And I prayerfully came up with 25 questions. And these questions are designed to give you a sense of, are you on that path or are you stalled? So when you answer the questions, all you have to do when you answer the questions is, are you carrying unforgiveness in your heart towards someone? If the answer is yes, then it is stalling your purpose.
Yeah. And that whole thing, that luggage, that heavy load, like the resentment and just wearing you down each and every day. So I love that your path to purpose is a process, moving or you stall.
Yeah, it's a process. It's not a destination. People think, well, my purpose is this. Your purpose is to be fully available and present using everything that God gave you to the maximum. That's really what it is. And so one of the first things I do as a purpose partner and as the Queen of Destiny is help people identify the things that are preventing you from walking in your purpose. Unforgiveness is kind of at the top of the list. People have no idea. Purpose is like a balloon with helium in it. And when you carry unforgiveness in your heart, resentment and bitterness, it siphons the helium out of that balloon and it circumvents your capacity to walk in the fullness and the power of your purpose. There is power in purpose.
I love that. I'm just sitting back in here doing this.
Wait, when I talk about it, it gets me excited.
Well, but it's so true. I can't help to think when you talk about forgiveness. Vivian, would you agree that a lot of forgiveness really doesn't begin until you learn how to forgive yourself?
Yeah. I mean, so many of us, those are basic things that we have not been taught. We have not been taught that you owe yourself forgiveness as much as you might owe it to someone else.
Yeah.
But it starts with you. You're absolutely right, Geoff. Absolutely.
So what can we do for those folks? Because I know for me, I was helped, my life journey, which we're not here to talk about today, took me to the point where I realized I didn't like myself. I was angry with myself. I was shown how to unwrap all of that trash, all that garbage. I call myself the dressed up garbage can, Vivian. Everything's good on the outside. On the inside, I smell like rotten diapers, and that's all emotion and pain and luggage that I carry around. How do you suggest people that are really like, man, how do you help them?
Well, one of the first things I would encourage people to do is to go to my website, which is mydestinymatters.com. and fill out the purpose activation survey. It's free. It's a simple, easy way, but it's profound, that will help you begin to regulate and bring into alignment anything that's out of order. So that's the first thing. My Destiny Matters with an S.com. The second thing I would encourage people to do is, I told you I wrote this book called Revival in the Pews.
Yes.
I wrote this book because my sister was 48 years old when she passed away. And my sister has spent most of her adult life going to church and wanting to be healed from type 2 diabetes. And she was very, very sickly. And so when she passed away at 48, I was like, no. There's something wrong with this picture. My sister has not fulfilled her destiny. She wanted to tell people about the goodness of God and how he had done all these miraculous things in her life and how he had saved her and her children on multiple occasions. So when she passed away, I was a very new believer. And so I was like, the Bible says that we can raise her from the dead, so I'm going to raise her from the dead. So I tell the story in this book about trying to raise her from the dead. And I got so much opposition, and I couldn't understand why I had that opposition. And that's when I did the 3 years of research. Well, this book is really a conversation with people of faith about how to walk in your faith powerfully, which that's why I talk to people about your spiritual destiny, not just destiny. I'm not interested in just destiny.
Yeah.
I'm interested in divine design. Like, you were created by a creator for a purpose. And so the book that I created helps to bring you into spiritual alignments.
Yeah.
And so that's what a lot of people are facing when they are in despair, when they are in depression and anxiety and frustration. It's because your alignment spiritually is off track. It's kind of like a car.
Yeah.
If the alignment is off, it doesn't drive properly. It's uncomfortable. It starts causing other issues. That's just like us as people. When the spiritual alignment is off, honey, you can just get really jacked up.
Oh, yeah. And when you talk about the car, you can see the car going down the highway, and it's going down the highway sideways, right?
Yes. And so I can see that when I encounter people, I'm like, okay, you kind of like the Eiffel Tower. You lean it over to the left way too much, or we need to, and so it's almost like being a spiritual physician. That's why I call myself America's #1 spiritual real estate developer. I develop spiritual real estate.
I love it.
I promise you, honey, the value and the worth of what I do is greater than Grant Cardone. You can calculate his money. You can't calculate my value.
Yeah, because he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind the challenge, right?
Right.
So,
but it's really true. Yeah. The value of our spiritual gifts being activated, deployed, and empowered in them there's no value you can put to that.
Yeah, and I'm just writing down those power words: activated, deployed, and Vivian, you really just, God, we could talk for days on this subject, and I know that you have at some point have to leave our show, and as we kind of wind down, this has been a blast. Time has just flown by,
Is our time up already? Wait, is there a part 2?
Well, I'm sure there is, because it's 1 point something billion people is going to take some more messaging around that and how
Yes.
all that works. But
Yeah.
I really love the fact that you speak to them from a bold perspective. You speak to them from a caring perspective. You really, if people hear this message, and I know they will, they're going to say, "Man, I need to do something different in my life. I need to give
Yes.
myself some grace." How do you help people give themselves grace?
Well, there's a couple of different things that I do. I'm a purpose partner. I literally partner with people to fulfill their purpose. And I do seminars, workshops, keynotes. I'm available to do purpose seminars for corporations, for ministries. I'm also a chaplain. And so I believe that, I've just been empowered to activate people, to encourage and uplift people in a supernatural. See, that's one of the things that's different about how I flow.
Mm.
I use supernatural tools
Mm.
to empower people in what they were created to do. That's very different from natural measures. I'm not just a natural coach. That's why I say purpose partner, because that purpose partner encompasses a lot of different things. So, if people are interested, they can reach out to me. You can reach me on by email at ourqueenofdestiny@gmail.com. And so you can reach me that way. You can call me. And I'm not really good at knowing my number offhand, but if you just send me an email or do my purpose activation survey at mydestinymatters with an s.com,
Okay.
you'll be able to, or you can find me on Facebook, Vivian Phillips.
I love that. So, Vivian, you said the email was ourqueenofdestiny@gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I've got that in the chat too. So those that hear this recording later, and also has my Destiny Matters in there as well. So that information will be in the chat. So I encourage everybody that's listening and listen to the recording that you really reach out to her. She is who she says she is. She lives what she says she does.
Thank you.
And don't, if you like, oh man, all I ever ask our listeners is to keep an open mind to the possibilities of the message.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, stay open-minded to whatever it is that you're like, it may not resonate with you at first, but I've met this woman. I've hugged this woman. I've looked into her eyes, and you can see it, from where she is right now. It's pure sincerity. She's living her purpose.
I am. Listen, I can't do it any other way. I mean, purpose is like, oxygen to me.
Wow.
And, I get up and I'm looking for my oxygen every single day. But here's the truth of the matter. The world needs your purpose. Whoever you are, the world needs your purpose. Like, it is not okay for you not to fulfill your purpose. It's not okay. Nobody can walk in your shoes. Nobody can say it the way you say it. Nobody can do it the way that you do it. It is time for all of us to get about our business of living what God created us to do. And so today I hope to put some fire behind people that it is time. It is not too late. It is not over. All these things have been taken into consideration. Everything that you've been dealing with, addiction, abuse, neglect, torment, death, whatever it is, it's going to play into that which you were created to do. So come on, we got things to do.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. Oh man, listen, what a way to close it out. I mean, it flowed like it was supposed to, and that message got out the way it was supposed to, Vivian. And thank you for your encouragement, and thank you for your words of wisdom. Go back, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to this. There's so many things in there that you can take away from. And make sure you reach out to her. Information is in the chat. And if for some reason I misspelled it, you don't get it, reach out to me and we'll make sure you get the connection. Vivian, one last word as we wrap up before I let you get away. What would that be?
Well, first, I just want to thank you, Geoff, for the vision that you had to bring people like myself onto a platform for us to showcase what it is that we're doing. I just speak blessings over you and strength to you and your family. And that I just decree that God will open doors, new doors for you, and create new opportunities for you to be even more of what he's created you to be. So thank you.
Thank you. And back to you, my sister. And until we meet again, thank you so much.
Hopefully soon.
Yes, ma'am. You got it. Oh, man. Oh, boy. So listen, man, I got to go because I know we passed our time and I won't keep you. But listen, go back and check out what she shared and keep an open mind to it and recognize the message she tells us. And it's about coming back. It's about getting up and coming back, baby. If you got knocked down yesterday, get back up. If you got knocked down this morning, get your butt back up. If you're dragging along like I was the other day, get your butt back up, right? We're all meant for greatness. We're all designed to serve. Our message, like she said, that we are carrying around to ourselves can help other people, but we'll never know about it until you go back to what I was talking about at the beginning. Get comfortable just having a conversation. Get comfortable saying hi to people that walk by you when you meet them. Get comfortable looking in the eyes of the person that's nearby you, right? Hey, this is the world that we need conversations now more than ever. This is the world where we need to support one another now more than ever. And this is what you get in our community. So, hey, as I wrap this thing up, I always like to leave you with a couple of thoughts. So you know what they are. If you don't know what they are, I'm going to tell you, right? How are you waking up each and every day? How are you going to bed each and every night? How are you reminding yourself through the day of who you are and who you want to be? And what message are you listening to? Are you listening to the one that says I can? Are you listening to the one that says I must? Are you listening to the one that says I will? Are you listening to the one that says, get up, baby? No more stinking thinking for me today. Get up, baby. Let me find my purpose. Reach out to Vivian Phillips, please, and make sure you show some love to her. Appreciate everybody for being here. Reach out to me, conversationswithjeff.com. I think it's the right email. I want to remind everybody that we are still scheduling keynote speaking around our purpose, which is about changing that conversation with yourself about yourself on your job and building your business and your relationship. I want to thank my guests one more time. Everybody listen, have a great day. See you on the next episode. And remember this, there's no better time than now to change your direction. There's no better time than now to step up and be bold. There's no better time than now for you to make a difference in your life. Change that stinking thinking, baby. We'll see you on the next show.